Follow me as I show you the process of how I designed my Owl House OC. The original idea. I had been wanting to design an Owl House OC for a while now. Then one day I drew this doodle I really liked. I used this doodle as a reference and elevated it, and made a new sketch which included the mask, which I really liked, but with more refined hair. Character name. So my original idea for this character was to make her like the Golden Guard type figure for the Archivist. I wanted her name to be celestial themed and unique. Some of the names that I found worked were Callista, Nebula, Astrid, Cordelia, and Ophelia. I ended up choosing Ophelia because I feel like this name is quite unique and fits in with the whole celestial theme. Backstory. Ophelia's backstory is quite deep. What initially started as her being the Golden Guard-like figure for the Archivist ended up being like a whole storyline and plot that I was able to think of. So basically, her story is that 10,000 years before present day, where the Owl House takes place, the Archivists came to Earth and they stole her from her human family. You guessed it, she's human. She was told that she was gifted to the Archivists by her human family, and they raised her to kind of do their dirty work. As you know from the Collector, the Archivists are quite powerful, but I presume them to also be the types of beings who don't like to do, the dirty work that they have to do, which is not as fun as, the overruling other beings and whatnot. So they basically raised her kind of to do the things that they didn't want to do, taking care of the beings that they collected and all that. So she kind of became the Golden Guard for the Archivists. Now, the Archivists aren't as cruel as Belos is, but they do make her do a lot of dirty work and have really changed how she views the world. Unlike the Archivist, she is mortal, more mortal. I was thinking of making her like semi-immortal in the sense that she would eventually die, but she's been alive for about 10,000 years and has only grown, about 10 to 15 years in human growth. I do have more ideas for her current life, like what she does, how she lives, how her relationship is with the Archivist and with other beings, but I haven't really gotten the chance to flesh that out fully yet. Character design. For Ophelia's face shape and facial features, I used Amity as a base. If you notice in the Owl House art style, the characters have different face shapes. Some face shapes are long and narrow. Some are shorter and thicker, like Amity's and Luz's. Also, if you look at their eyes, some of them have siren eyes, while other characters have doe eyes. For Ophelia, I wanted her to have doe eyes, but I also gave her an eyeliner just to make her eyes a bit more sharper. In this whole character design process, the component that I spent the most time on was Ophelia's hair. I spent about 2 weeks making a bunch of different versions of her hair. One braided tied up, one with a side high pony, one just with her hair out. Doing this honestly helped a lot because it gave me a lot of different hair options for Ophelia. I ended up making the braided hairstyle with her hair down as the main hairstyle for Ophelia. I chose the side high pony as her hex side look. I'm planning to use her hair down for the younger version of her character. Accessories. When I was originally planning Ophelia, I knew I wanted her to have certain statement pieces. I wanted her to have long nails and an owlbird tattoo on her back for some story purposes. I also wanted her to have bold earrings that could also serve a purpose of being a weapon. So I designed her earrings to be detachable weapons. The final design. The aesthetic that I was going for Ophelia was almost like a Robin Hood in space type theme. For her colors, I was definitely going for deep blues and saturated but a little pale blues. I wanted to bring in that space theme, but at the same time, I wanted to keep her color scheme a bit separate from the Archivist. If you notice with the Archivist, their color scheme is more like a dark purple, like a purpley blue. I wanted Ophelia's color scheme just to be a little different, just to show that even though she is part of the Archivist family, she does stand out. And also, considering she's human, I think that blue both connects her to space and also like the ocean on Earth. I know that's a little bit like being a bit more metaphorical, but I think visually it makes more sense. And in the future, like when I make stories using this character visually, you're going to be able to tell how she is different from the Archivist. So this is me sketching the final design for Ophelia. In my process, I really love drawing like the rough draft for a drawing on paper and pencil. And I love doing the final version of an artwork digitally. So there's a picture of the artwork that I drew of Ophelia, and I'm just going over it. So I'm like outlining it. And at this time, I was kind of trying to figure out like her hair color and her skin tone and her eye color. I definitely wanted to go in for like a corally blue for her eyes. So I was definitely playing around with that. The first color I tried on for her eyes was like a like sky baby blue, but I felt like it kind of washed her out a bit. And then I tried more of like a turquoise type blue, and I honestly think that worked a lot better. It stands out. You can kind of see the emotion in her face a lot better from that color. For her hair, I kind of always knew I wanted it to be blonde. I was kind of contemplating if I should give her highlights. So after I drew this, actually, I did give her like blue and pink highlights. So I made a copy of this file, and then I just ended up giving her highlights. The app that I'm using to sketch this is IBIS Paint. So I'm actually sketching this on my phone. So if you're somebody who's thinking about getting into digital art or have always wanted to do it but have kind of been intimidated by it, I would like recommend you use this app. It's really convenient. Again, I'm doing this on my phone. It's honestly really great. Obviously not sponsored, but it really works really well. Okay, so here's the final design. I'm not gonna lie, I really love this design. I put a lot of effort into her color scheme, into her hair, into all the story elements and how that would play out with her overall character design. I'm honestly in love. Here are the highlights that I was talking about earlier. Let me know which one you prefer. When I look at one, I do prefer that one. So I sometimes prefer highlighted hair, sometimes I prefer it not highlighted. But just for ease, I'm gonna opt for her non-highlighted hair just because it is easier for me to draw her more often if I use her non-highlighted hair. Thank you so much for watching my video and seeing my process of how I designed Ophelia. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give a like and subscribe. Also, let me know if you prefer the highlights or not, because I'm still debating. I hope you have a lovely day. Bye!